What's up, everyone? Welcome to the March 30th edition of DraftKings Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, you get one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum when you sign up and make a deposit at Prize Picks. Be sure to use the code Awesemo to receive a 100% first deposit bonus up to $100. Today, we have a 9-game NBA slate. As usual, especially this time of year, there's plenty of breaking news that we're waiting on. So be sure to tune into the deeper dive and live before lock on the Awesemo YouTube channel. But for now, we're going to take a look at 5 of the top tournament options on DraftKings using the Boom Bust tool on Awesemo.com. Starting at number 5, RJ Hampton, $3,800 price tag, taking on the Washington Wizards. Hampton has point guard and shooting guard eligibility. He's not a very good point per minute fantasy producer. In 10 starts this year, where Cole Anthony has also been active, Hampton has only averaged 0.65 DraftKings points per minute, but he's also averaged 27.3 minutes per game, and there should be plenty of minutes available for him again tonight. He's currently only projected for about 2% ownership, with a 6% chance of being in the optimal lineup. As long as his ownership projection remains that low, there is some merit in going to him in tournaments. Number 4, Damian Jones, $4,800 price tag, center only, projected for 5% ownership with a 9% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Jones played about 26 minutes in his last game, and in 9 total starts this season, he's averaged 24.9 minutes per game and 0.87 DraftKings points per minute. Jones has an excellent matchup tonight against the Houston Rockets in a game that is likely to be awful to watch and really good from a fantasy standpoint. Jones currently, only projected for 5% ownership, should be a bit higher, and he gives you plenty of upside at that salary. Number 3, Garrison Matthews, $3,200 price tag, small forward only. Matthews is another player similar to RJ Hampton that isn't a great point per dollar or point per minute fantasy producer. He's only averaged 0.7 DraftKings points per minute this season, but he does have a good matchup against the Sacramento Kings. He is likely to start again tonight with Eric Gordon and Dennis Schroeder both sidelined for Houston, and he's likely to give you around 30 minutes in a good matchup at near minimum salary. We have him projected for an 11% chance of being in the optimal lineup at only 6% ownership. Number 2, Luka Doncic, $12,000 price tag, taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland is a solid team, we know that, but their defense is hurt a bit without Jared Allen, and now they're also without Evan Mobley. So they're missing both of their normal front court starters, and 2 guys that really shore up that defense. So I think it's likely that we see Cleveland struggle a little bit defensively here. And on top of that, Dallas is also going to be without Spencer Dinwiddie. In the minutes that he has played without Kristaps Porzingis, Spencer Dinwiddie, or Tim Hardaway Jr. on the floor this season, 857 total minutes, 1.68 DraftKings points per minute for Doncic. So he can be expected to produce at a little bit higher rate given Dinwiddie's absence. And also, I think he's likely to produce a little bit better than he otherwise would, given that Cleveland is missing both of Mobley and Allen for tonight's game. Doncic currently projected for 19% ownership with a 22% chance of being in the optimal lineup. And coming in as the top tournament option on tonight's slate on DraftKings, Usman Garuba, $3,000 price tag, power forward and center eligible. Now, this spot's a little difficult to talk about because I don't know exactly what to expect minutes wise from Garuba. What we do know is that he was used as a backup center in the last game where Christian Wood was out, Şengün started, and then Şengün missed the fourth quarter. Garuba played a total of about 15 minutes, but he played in the first half as well. So it's not like he only played once Şengün was injured. So if he comes off the bench, like you could see Houston start KJ Martin at center. You could see them start Bruno Fernando, even though that seems unlikely since it appears that he's behind Garuba in the rotation. But if you get like KJ Martin starting and Garuba coming off the bench, there's still a decent chance that you get upper teens or low 20s in minutes from him. And in 128 total minutes played this season, Garuba's averaged 0.95 DraftKings points per minute. If he starts, that's a very good sign for his playing time. His ownership would certainly skyrocket as well if he's in the starting lineup. But right now, we have him projected for 14% ownership with a 24% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Again, if he's announced as the starter, I do think that ownership percentage comes up. And similarly, if he's not announced as a starter, the optimal lineup percentage will come down a bit because it appears that we're currently projecting him for about 28 minutes. But there's a big enough gap here where I think one way or the other, Garuba is going to be a strong option to get to in tournaments tonight. So to recap, the top 5 tournament options on DraftKings as things currently stand: number 5, RJ Hampton; number 4, Damian Jones; number 3, Garrison Matthews; number 2, Luka Doncic; and number 1, Usman Garuba.